Big Ten championship implications. Lon Kruger, the 47-year-old head coach of the Illini. His young team is hot. They've won 9 of their last 10. A big win at Bloomington against the Hoosiers earlier this week. Here's his lineup. No senior starters on the front line. The blocky 6'4" junior McLean. Brian Cook, a freshman center at 6'10". Lucas Johnson can hit from outside, the sophomore. In the backcourt, their leading scorer, Corey Bradford. He's on his way to breaking his own record for three-point shots. Frank Williams, just a freshman, but he is maturing at that point guard position. Jim O'Brien took his team as a surprise to the Final Four a year ago. The 49-year-old native of Brooklyn. And here is his three-guard offense up front. The two seniors, George Reese and Ken Johnson. Johnson, the leading shot blocker in the nation. These men playing in their last home game here in Columbus. He likes the three-guard offense, does O'Brien. And Scooney Penn, he brought him from Boston College. 2 years at BC, a star. 2 years here at Ohio State, a star as Penn. Michael Redd, a great shooter outside at 6'6". And Brian Brown, like O'Brien, a native of Brooklyn, New York. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire here at this magnificent facility. And Coach, around the Big Ten, the one thing you can be assured of, when you talk about the guard play, you're going to see men who can shoot the ball.
Obviously, they're solid shooters. I think that Penn is mainly a leader. He's a leader that has no weaknesses, and he could become the second answer number 2 in the next level of basketball.
And in Corey Bradford and Williams, you got a sophomore and a guard in the backcourt for the Illini. And you've always said the best thing about freshmen
is that they become a sophomore. But Bradford can bury you from three-point land. What he does, he has a very, very quick release. And then inside the circle, he can bounce up and score. And he gives you maximum defense on the other end.
We welcome those of you who have seen Syracuse defeat Georgetown here on CBS. Corey Bradford, the Big Ten freshman of the year. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of weight on his shoulders, this young man. It's so much expected of him after his sensational first year with the Illini. And for Ohio State to win, they're going to have to do something to stop his three-point prowess. And for Ohio State, the energy of the practice of the Buckeyes yesterday gives you an indication that they're really gearing ahead as these thoroughbreds come down the stretch of the Big Ten season.
I think the key to the game is Ken Johnson. If Ken Johnson plays 30 minutes, Dick, Ohio State, the Buckeyes will win. I doubt whether he'll get 30 minutes. He's foul prone. And Illinois, who probably got the deepest bench in the country, they'll play 11 men today. They keep coming in there and they'll create fouls.
So Ken Johnson, who is a tremendous defensive force, as the eraser inside. And the Illini figure to send 3-4 men after him and try to challenge whether he can stay in the game, stay away from foul trouble. We're set to go here at Ohio State. And we welcome those of you who have seen the Orange Men of Syracuse defeat the Hoyas of Georgetown. This is the final game of CBS's terrific triple header today. The Illini of Illinois and the Buckeyes of Ohio State, each team with 10 wins. The Buckeyes are 10-3 and ranked 6th in the nation. Illinois, probably if the rankings went to the top 30, would be in the top 30, are playing as well as anyone in the conference with 9 wins in their last 10 starts, 7 in a row, and we're underway. And Scooney Penn with a tip from Ken Johnson. Penn, the 5'10 senior from Salem, Massachusetts. Red. Back out, McLean takes Penn. That's an interesting matchup, Coach. McLean at 6'4".
I think Penn's too quick for him.
Penn misfires, and the battle for the rebound and dual possession. It'll go to the Illini as Brian Cook, the freshman, and Michael Redd of Ohio State come up with it. And look at the Illini on offense, and bringing it down is their freshman point guard, Frank Williams. He hit a buzzer beater at Champaign to beat Ohio State earlier in the season, 80-77. McLean driving on Redd, loses the ball, and up with it is Brian Brown for Ohio State.
Both teams start out with man-to-man.
Scooney Penn. He'll tell us how he got that nickname when we have time later. Brian, as they go into an outside weave. Penn with 13 on the clock. Reese from the side. And the freshman Cook pulls down the rebound for the Illini. Bradford's first attempt, and he rattles one in. Didn't take him long, and that makes 58 straight games that Corey Bradford has hit a three-point shot.
I'm surprised he got that shot because I know Jim O'Brien definitely was extending his defense yesterday to stop that.
Red can't hit. But a tip in for Ohio State as Johnson there to bat at home. As Williams had hit the three-point shot. We were a little too quick with Bradford. This is Williams, and he tries another. Well off the mark. Here come the Buckeyes trailing 3-2. Red to the side, Brown, and back into the hands of Penn, who sets up the action.
Red got away with 2 palms that time.
From the side, the left-hander Red. Johnson and Cook, and it's last touch by Johnson.
Johnson's playing very tentative. He must have heard the quote I made early in the top of the show that he won't play 30 minutes. He's foul prone, but he has to get more in the mix.
Frank Williams brings it down. Part of the Peoria Manual, the combination they call them. 3 great players out of Manual that have gone to the Illini. Cook well over the rim. Johnson with a rebound. Back to Cook inside. Over Johnson. And Johnson pulls down the rebound.
Cook, for a freshman, he's not bashful. Nice move by Penn.
And Scooty Penn can't hit. Batted back out. And it's Cook with a save. Williams brings it in. McLean. Both teams cold at the start and out of bounds to Ohio State.
McLean is not a scorer. He should not take that shot from out there. He's a slasher. He's a tough ball player. He's thick in body. Most of his baskets are scored within 3 feet of the rim.
Kind of a Charles Barkley body, and he's 6'4", husky, quick feet, good defender. Williams on Red. McLean has Scooty Penn. And he's cut off at the pass, and Johnson will be called for the foul. Lucas Johnson, the sophomore from Des Plaines, Illinois.
Kruger wanted that to be called a jump ball. It was close to a jump ball. And the arrow favoring Ohio State now. They would have got the ball anyway.
Penn triggers it in. George Reese, who served as a 6th man early in the season, has it picked off by McLean, and Williams with the solo. So this team, the Illini, leading the Big Ten in steals, and they come up with one early and a 5-2 lead. All points by Frank Williams.
One of the reasons why they can be active in stealing balls is because their bench is so deep. As I said earlier, it goes 11 deep.
Red pulls up for a 15-footer, and Michael Red, Silky they called him in high school here in Columbus at West High. Bradford.
Ooh, what a quick release.
2-pointer. 7-4 for the Illini. Corey Bradford, he said his best days are with Grandpa down in Memphis fishing. There's nothing like that. Grandfather helped raise him, and he says he's his idol.
He thinks it was 3. I thought it was close to 3, but the refs were using eye contact with each other, and none would make the move. So now they'll go to the monitor, I believe. Or no, they're not going to the monitor.
Clearly a 2.
Clearly 2. Good call by the referees.
He's wearing the shoes you have on. It'd have been a 3. But he's got the full size.
But very, very quick release.
Now the officials today, Jim Burr, Steve Welmer, and Gene Monchi.
Here's the replay again for our audience. Here we go. Now watch the 1 foot just steps over that line. Watch how quick he releases. Bang!
Scooty Penn was right in his face. So yesterday, Jim O'Brien in practice telling his player that you can't just go out there with your hands to the side. When Bradford has the ball, get it up into his face.
And you got to fly. You got to fly at him, go by him, and let someone else pick, and you pick up rotation on the weak side defensively.
It is a 2. Score remains Illinois 7, Ohio State 4. 16 minutes left in the opening half, and we have our first timeout. Month of February, the Illini trying to make it perfect. They are 7-0 this month and have held their opponents to under 56 points a game average. And A.J. Guyton in that big win at Indiana earlier this week held only 3 points. Hard to believe that when you saw what Guyton did against Michigan State in that dramatic overtime win yesterday.
You can never second guess Bobby Knight. He sits out A.J. practically half that ball game, and Guyton comes back and scores 34 points.
Cook comes up with the rebound. Lon Kruger was charged with a timeout because of the challenge on the 3-point shot. You saw clearly it was a 2-point shot. That timeout then goes against Illinois. The Illini up by 3. McLean into the lane, has it batted away. And Red 2-on-1 to Brown. And the foul.
Beautiful fast break. 3-on-2 that time. Nice passing.
McLean with the foul for Illinois.
Here they come down 3 lanes. Man in the middle kicks to the left. Then it goes over to the right. Couldn't finalize because he was fouled by Johnson.
McLean's second foul early, and so Lon Kruger is going to go to his bench as Brown at the line. Dick Enberg, McGuire in Columbus, Ohio, campus of Ohio State University. We welcome those of you who have seen the Georgia Tech Jackets win their game against Wake Forest. Bobby Kremen's team.
I told Bobby not to retire. I told him to fight him, and he wins his last 2 ball games.
Ryan Brown hits both free throws, and with 15:31 remaining in the opening half here at Columbus, Ohio, it's the Illini by 1.
The road to the Final Four is sponsored by Nextel, how business gets done. Mountain Dew, who reminds you to do the do. And by American Express, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
6th-ranked Buckeyes of Jim O'Brien, 19-5 on the year, 10-3 in the Big Ten. The Illini of Lon Kruger are 18-7, 10-4 in the conference, and lead 7-6 early. Both teams cold, and a good steal by Michael Red, and the Buckeyes lead for the first time.
They'll keep it up there now. Once you get a little smell of blood, they'll keep the pressure up court and try to turn them over again. Now they release the pressure.
Red, the leading scorer for the Buckeyes, just under 17 a game. Krupala's in now. Demir Krupala, number 33 for Illinois. And Cleotis Brown turns it over. Scooney pin.
They're going to come back with pressure again. They're getting the run going.
Penn pressuring Williams. Krupala trying to give him some help with the screen. Bradford to Williams. Brown doing a good job on Corey Bradford. Inside to Krupala, and it's out of bounds to Illinois with 9 on the shot clock.
Here's the 2 quick steals that turned this game right around. There's Red, I believe, getting that steal. Now when they go back, they turn it over down deep with Penn. Penn gets his head and arms out front and follows all the way through. Gives him a 10-7 lead.
Oh, Cook got away with an extra step. He's blocked by Johnson. Johnson, who leads the nation in blocking shots. Brown at the other end, and the Buckeyes on a run. Lead now by 5. 8-0 run for Ohio State. Timeout, Illinois. Ken Johnson with a rejection of Cook. 1 and 2 for Johnson. His first of this game. He now has 134 this year to lead the nation. 7, we're at the Value City Arena, the Jerome Schottenstein Center, 19,500 in its second year. A brilliant facility. And Ohio State has played very tough basketball here. They've lost only 3 times in 31 games.
What happened in that spurt that they had is that Illinois put in 3 fresh ball players, and O'Brien called pressure up court, which is an excellent call when there's multiple substitutions.
Bradford is well short, but it comes back out to Illinois. Kupala. Boy, the Buckeyes really playing vice tough defense.
Plus they brought the crowd into the game.
Marcus Griffin making his first appearance, number 52, one of the brilliant young players on this Illini roster. This is Griffin. And the foul underneath. That Reese raised his hand. Is it Reese or Johnson? No, it's on Johnson. That's his first.
Reese made a senior move that time, trying to take the foul onto himself and maintain Johnson at limited number of fouls.
Illini on a drought, over 2.5 minutes without a point.
Buckeyes have just gone to a 2-3 zone. Excuse me, Dick.
Illinois led 7-4, but Ohio State 8 in a row to take the 12-7 lead. Frank Williams from 3-point range. Rebound Red. 6'6" junior Red from Columbus, Ohio. And Ben, there is no doubt who the general is of this team. He runs the show.
When in doubt, give him the ball. He'll hit the free man. Who's ever open is going to get the ball.
Good patience by Ohio State.
He's a big-time leader, Penn.
Penn for 3. Rebound falls in the lap of McLean. Here come the Illini. Checked it by Johnson, number 3.
Frank Williams tried to readjust his shot that time, and Johnson still caught leather. Watch him readjust his shot, and Johnson gets all leather.
Johnson, 6'11" senior from Detroit, Michigan, raised by his grandmother, very shy as he came here to Ohio State. Williams has to use extra arc to get it over Johnson, and it's taken down by Boban Savovich, number 21 for Ohio State, making his first appearance. Red and Reese to Penn. Now Savovich sees an opening, and he traveled.
Well, I thought he took one extra step, and they did call traveling.
Jim O'Brien, a terrier tough, a former star collegiate guard himself, out of New York City, played at Boston College, played for Cousy and Chuck Daly during the course of his career. Well tutored.
In high school, he played at St. Francis Prep in Brooklyn.
Griffin can't hit. Red has another board. Here's Penn. Savovich passed up the shot. Johnson, good pass to Savovich. But the Illini are there, and at last touched Ohio State Savovich.
Johnson made an excellent pass that time. Interior passing, bouncing is the best way to do it.
Timeout in Columbus, where the Buckeyes lead by 5. At the end of any collegiate season, coaches don't get much sleep, but it's really tough for Jim O'Brien. He has a ruptured disc in his back, very painful. He can hardly move. And what a history he's had in fixing programs. Goes to St. Bonaventure, and he wins the Coach of the Year in the Atlantic 10. Then on to Boston College, the Big East Coach of the Year. He comes to the Big Ten Coach of the Year. He's been outstanding everywhere he's coached. 49-year-old O'Brien. His team has held the Illini 0 for the last 8 from the floor and shut them out the last 4 minutes. And Bradford, trouble with the handle. Gets it to Williams. 11:22 left in the opening half. Ohio State by 5. Inside to Griffin. Lots of hopping in there, and eventually the turnover.
Griffin be a much better ball player if he would fan the ball out every now and then after he gets it down low in the pivot. It's like the big black hole. Once it goes in there, it never comes back out.
And to Savovich. Michael Red to Reese.
Dick, the game has gotten very, very physical. Every cut they're being bumped, and every offensive rebound they're being pushed. both teams.
Will Dudley has given Ken Johnson a breather. He's now in at center for Ohio State. Michael Red on the run. 10 in a row now for Ohio State. A football 14-7 score. So as going by, you'll note that it was Wake Forest defeating Georgia Tech. We had an erroneous score up earlier. The Deacons the winner today.
That's where Griffin has to be, who scored that last basket. Down low, very tight to the basket.
14-9 for the Bucks. Move by Dudley does not result profitably for the Buckeyes, and here come the Illini. Williams, the freshman. Bradford, sophomore. And Griffin, the junior, and a reach in by an elbow from Griffin. The foul is on the Illini center, his first.
Griffin had decent position, then tried to do a spin move and use his elbow or arm to hook, which we call a swim stroke.
Ken Johnson returns for Ohio State, and also making an appearance is number 34, Chobe Osokolic, a freshman from Kraljevo, Yugoslavia. Solovic and Osokolic on the floor now for Ohio State.
Osokolic has good skills. He can score and he can pass.
Johnson right back to Brown. Stony Penn, he's a... what a move on Harrington. Put him down, but he can't hit the three-pointer. And the foul will be on Solovic of Ohio State. No, that's a fake.
You talk about being faked out of your pants or out of your jock. Watch this. Zip. Down he goes. No one touched him.
Working on Sean Harrington, the freshman from Elgin, Illinois, for the Illini, number 24. Full court pressure, modest pressure. Penn, Hawking, Williams.
Choking. I think it will come in. I think he's over half court. Nope. They're settling back.
Illini trailing 14-9, approaching the 9-minute mark. Williams inside, and a bump from Johnson, or was it Penn on the reach? Ken Johnson, and that will be his second foul. And so, as Coach Al McGuire indicated early, like to get 30 minutes out of Johnson, Ohio State, but the Illini with tremendous bench strength on the front line figure to put the pressure on him.
If we get 30 minutes out, the Buckeyes will win. Williams in that last play there, it's good for you young people out there, guys and girls playing basketball. When he heard the whistle go off, he ended up putting up a circus shot, which allowed him to get a two-shot foul rather than just taking the ball out of bounds.
Williams with his 6th and 7th points, and he pulls the Illini to within 3. Michael Red back in for Ohio State.
Red's more of a scorer than a shooter. He can score anywhere at any time. Just off balance, open, penetrating.
Ooh, almost stolen by Williams and actually forced a turnover. Buckeyes thought it was deflected.
I don't know if Williams might have been out of bounds. I don't think he was. Being possible.
It was at our angle. It was tough to call, and it stays in the Illini hands. And here come Lon Kruger's team, trailing 14-11. Fans certainly didn't like the call. Cook from way outside.
Yeah, Cook can bury him from three-point land, but as he matures and gets tougher, I think his outside shot will become a liability because you want him down low.
6'10" Cook with a three-pointer to tie the game at 14. Penn darting inside. Osokolic saves. 10 on the shot clock.
Oh, nice move by Penn.
Penn from the free throw line gives Ohio State the lead 16-14. 4 points for him. Harrington helping out in the backcourt. Williams, lucky, got the ball to Cook. Fans wanted to travel.
Shot clock down to 10.
Kupala can't hit the three, and here comes Penn the other way. Osokovic misses the easy shot. He was in between the layup and the dunk.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite decide.
In that position, you should really dunk the ball in the size of old Sokovic.
Thing is, at the other end, Coach, Scoonie Penn with a rebound. He's averaging 4.5 rebounds. The smallest man on the court makes the steal. Pilfers it from Harrington, sets up Red, and it's 18 to 14 as Michael Red now with 8 points to lead the Buckeyes.
Could be one of the best backcourt combinations in college ball today.
No argument there. And a reach in by Red, and this is what annoys a lot of Big Ten fans, and it's not just here, it's everywhere. A little tic-tac foul outside and the big banging inside, no whistle. Scoonie Penn.
Here's he steals, and all of a sudden he gives a fake hit. Watch him hit this runner. Very difficult shot. They hit the read, a layup.
Summary. 6:43 left in the half, Coach. A 18-14 game. I guess the story is the cold shooting.
No, it's not as much cold shooting as that the top 5 teams in the Big Ten play physical. You can't cut without being bumped. Offensive rebounds are shoved off. The referees can't even control it. I believe somewhere down the line there has to be a readjustment. There's too much weight room type of thing here. Too much muscle. I enjoy this type of game, but it's just too many bumps out there. No one gets a clear shot.
18-14 Ohio State. Cleotis Brown, jumper, and a battle underneath, and the foul against Illinois.
It looked like Cook just jumped into the pack that time.
First foul on Brian Cook. Any of your players at Marquette in your career use the weight room?
No, very seldom. I don't know if we had weights. I think the weight room, personally, everybody's going to say, oh my God, what I'm saying here. But I think the weight room's overdone. This is basketball, not football.
Harrington with a steal, ahead to Brown. Back outside, and Harrington for 3.
That's his game. I'm surprised Sean missed that shot.
Cook saved it. Cleotis Brown the third. 6 minutes left in the half. Tough to get his shot off for Illinois. Look at this tough defense. Red on Bradford.
Belly button to belly button.
And the pass goes off the knee of Harrington. Turnover. Illinois. They're 8.
Bradford held the ball too long that time.
Ohio State by 4. And Harrington and Red get hooked up, and the foul goes against the freshman Harrington. His first.
Harrington's a little bit too small to cover Red.
That's 5 fouls on Illinois. Ohio State with only 4. Penn, three-pointer. Rims out, and Cook calls in the rebound. Here comes Bradford for Illinois. Takes the 3. There it is. And Corey Bradford has 58 straight games in which he's hit a three-pointer.
He used the pick excellent that time, rubbed his man off on it. Bradford just put Red to the ground with an elbow.
Reese misses. And Brown comes up with it for Illinois. The Illini with a chance for the lead. Bradford weaving his way, looking as if he wants the shot, and takes it. And out of bounds to Ohio State. He really wanted to give Illinois the lead. You could see that in his dribble.
Once he made that three-pointer, then he knew the next time down, I'm going.
Massive substitutions by Lon Kruger off the Illinois bench. Williams is back in. So is Lucas Johnson, who has 2 fouls. Marcus Griffin in, along with Sergio McLean, and Harrington stays. And here comes Doylan Robinson, the sophomore from Rackham, Ohio, seeing more playing time for Ohio State. He's considered a top defensive player to score.
Williams will try to push Penn to one sideline or the other, preferably to the left side.
Brown, Reese, Robinson, Scooney, Penn, and Red. Not there. Good follow-up by Red. Went after his own rebound and draws the foul.
Usually the guys around 6'4", 6'5" are great offensive rebounders. Bigger men cannot adjust for offensive rebounds. Usually put a body on them.
When you looked at the stat sheet at halftime or at the end of the game, offensive rebounds, how key was that stat?
I thought outside of turnover, the most important other stat is the offensive rebound. Because it gives you, in today's game, it gives you a fresh clock, it gives you confidence, and it makes the other team wear out on a defensive end.
The turnover is an extra possession, and an offensive rebound amounts to an extra possession.
They're both really 4 points, Dick. 2 points they could have gotten, 2 points you might get. That's right.
Illinois leading 6-2 in that statistic today as Red gives the Buckeyes a 19-17 lead. He now has 9 points to lead all scorers.
McLean is free on the other side. Good decision by Griffin not to shoot it, get down low, and then get it to Griffin. That's where Griffin likes it, right there.
Entry pass by Harrington, and Griffin makes the basket to tie it at 19. 4 points for him.
Give Penn giving instructions, then get out, get out. Big-time leader, Penn.
A steal by Frank Williams, who leads the Illini in steals, and he converts it for the lead, 21-19. The Illini led early, and then that 8-0 run by Ohio State, and now Illinois back in front. 9 for Williams. Brown, good aggressive move to tie it up. Brian Brown now with 6.
Brown could feel Williams in vacuum, so he double pumped, used his body as his defense. McLean wants to penetrate.
Nice move by Harrington to set up Johnson for 3, and no foul on Red.
Reed just knocked them down.
Red at the other end and can't handle the tall pass. Time out in Columbus, 2:56 from the intermission. The Illini, the Buckeyes tied at 21. Of course, a great player here at Ohio State, so obviously a slight interest in the outcome of this one. Critical, both these teams with a chance for the Big Ten championship. The loser probably will have difficulty sharing in that honor.
We had Clark many times in the old building.
Yep, we did indeed. St. John's Arena. That housed the great teams of Fred Taylor, Jerry Lucas, John Havlicek, Mel Knoll, Larry Siegfried, Bobby Knight. 1960 national champions. Foul. Buckeyes with the body.
Robinson.
And the first on him. 21 all. 2:40 left first half.
Get the ball to Griffin down low.
Bradford, oh, is that a tough 3? He now with 8. Couple of 3s for Bradford, and the Illini enjoy the lead. 4 for 11 for Illinois. The Buckeyes shut out from beyond the arc. Inside to Reese, and a whistle. Reach in on Griffin, I believe.
Watch this quick release. It's almost unbelievable. 1001, 1002. About a second and a half. He releases, excellent spin, all net.
Barely had seen the rim when he had let it release. He knew where it was. Second foul. And Marcus Griffin of Illinois. George Reese at the line, and back comes number 34, Brian Cook, the 1999 Illinois Mr. Basketball Player of the Year, and for Ohio State, Brent Darby, a freshman, River Rouge, Michigan, replaces Doylan Robinson. First time we've seen Darby. I think he's going to be a star. He'll be Sconey Penn's replacement next year. Reese 1 out of 2. His first point of the game. 24-22 Illinois.
You know, Red and Penn haven't been out of the game. I think they're getting a little bit tired.
Cook again, the big center, 6'10", hits from outside and has 6 points in the game. Couple of threes from Brian Cook. You don't usually see that from a man 6'10". Penn, Darby, and Red for 3. Too long. He's been long most of this half.
Darby got away with a push-up that time on Cook.
Darby had 4 straight 3-pointers against Indiana earlier this year. And the block inside. Brian Cook from Lincoln, Illinois. 3 straight Mr. Illinois basketball stars have matriculated at Illinois. Their future very bright. As you said, no senior starters today. And no significant play from any seniors. Frank Williams on Scooney Penn. Darby.
Darby doesn't want to shoot.
3-2. They beat the clock, but it's a 4 shot, and Lucas Johnson comes up with the rebound.
It would have been a violation. The shot did not hit the rim.
Illinois by 5. And Bradford goes for the 3. Gets it back. And they'll set it up again. Final minute of the opening half.
You got to always know where Bradford is. I'm still saying that they should have given the rest to Penn and to Red somewhere in the first half.
Red was out about a minute and a half, Coach, but not Penn. McLean trying to get inside, and it's batted away by Will Dudley. So 45 seconds and change. 19 on the shot clock. Jim O'Brien's seen flashes of brilliance by his Buckeyes defensively, and then lulls, and then Bradford again. And Corey Bradford with 3 trays in this first half, 11 to lead all scores. And Illinois has opened up an 8-point lead here at Ohio State. A key Big Ten battle. In a row, they've taken an 8-point lead here at Ohio State.
There's no reason for Bradford to have 3 from 3-point land. You can let him, you can overplay him, let him go for 2, or let him pass the ball into the pivot. They are a half a step slow on covering the guards and not extending their defense enough.
29 points for Corey Bradford against the Buckeyes, 17 and 20. So he's played well against Ohio State. He now has 79 threes this year. He set the Illini record last year with 85. Seems certain to break that. Illini goes to the tournament.
Dick, if I was playing against Illinois, I'd go to a box 1 and put man-to-man on Bradford. I wouldn't let him beat me from 3-point land. They're going to take the clock all the way down to about 6 seconds.
About 2 seconds difference in the clock and the shot clock. With 5, it's Penn, and he hits a key 3-pointer. 30-25 Illinois. They'll have to hurry. Williams from midcourt. Oh my! Almost rattled that one in, and that is the end of the first half here at the Value City Arena. Illinois 30, Ohio State 25. Now let's go to New York. Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg, Pennzoil at the half.
Favorite going into the tournament. But in the end, it was UConn who opened wide the country's eyes. Now it's my turn for some eye-openers, starting with Illinois. The Illini have rediscovered their fight and have rolled to 7 straight wins behind a youthful but skilled backcourt duo of Corey Bradford and Frank Williams. Temple has won 13 straight, including a victory over #1 Cincinnati last week. Will this finally be the year for John Chaney, the wise old owl, to finally howl? Meantime, Pepe Sanchez has Temple fans worshiping his moves. Florida ended the weekend on an 8-1 tear. Along the way, the Gators took big bites out of Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Auburn. And here in New York, St. John's is reinventing the city game. The Red Storm weathered the Eric Barkley suspension and lashed out for 7 straight W's, including yesterday's thriller at Duke. Now add Utah State and Fresno State to the mix, season with a little Pepperdine, and you're hot. Time to show some reverse mode. Starting with the national champs, UConn has looked more like you can't. It's a whole kaleidoscope of ups and downs that makes you realize the difference a year makes as well, like day and night. Speaking of which, Indiana started out red hot, but faltered of late, losing to Ohio State and Illinois. Bloodied but unbowed, the Hoosiers upset Michigan State yesterday. Perhaps that win could halt the skid. North Carolina State is also in free fall, dropping its last 6 ACC games.
All right, Clark, you, the owner of the Crystal Ball, outside of the automatic bids, where are these teams coming from for the tournament?
Well, we're going to look at the major conferences and take a look at the number of teams I think will receive at-large bids. And remember now, every conference you see does get an automatic bid. These are the at-large possibilities. The ACC going to have a down year again, I think, in terms of numbers of teams from their conference. The Big 12 looking very strong, and I think the SEC is as solid as any conference in terms of number of teams that will get in the tournament this year.
K-E-double-L-O-double-guess.
Good.
The official 64-team tournament field will be announced on Sunday, March the 12th at 6:30 Eastern Time. You will hear it first, and you'll hear it live exclusively here on CBS. Mark your calendars for the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show 2 weeks from tonight. Thank you for joining us on Pennzoil at the half. We'll get you back down to Dick and Al in Columbus for the second half of Illinois and Ohio State right after this.
Word from your local station.
By Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealers. Solomon Smith Barney. See how we earn it. And by Budweiser, made with the freshest all-natural ingredients for brewery fresh taste.
Back at Ohio State, Illinois leading by 5 points. Dick Enberg along with the mellowed former madman from Marquette, Al McGuire. Al, what's got to happen in the second half for Ohio State to pull this out?
For the Buckeyes to pull this out, first of all, I think they could put defensive pressure up court. They almost had a knockout blow in there in the first half, and they let it settle back. And second, they got to put a blanket on Bradford. They can't give him any more three-point looks. Just can't do it.
Here's a look at Pensico's halftime statistics. And Illinois, interestingly, 6 3-point field goals, 5 from inside the arc. So they are dangerous outside, as we expected them to be.
In the battle of the guards, Williams and Bradford got 20 points combined. Penn and Red, 16. That's surprising.
And you throw in Brown's 6 as well. They had 22 from their 3-guard offense, did Ohio State. 22 of their 25 points, so nothing inside for Ohio State in the first half. They start with Scooney, Penn, Brown, Red, inside to Johnson, and he throws it away, looking for George Reese. Illinois with Bradford and Williams in the backcourt, McLean, Cook, and Lucas Johnson, same 5 that started for Lon Kruger.
I hate to say this so early, Dixie, but this is a big stop right here for Ohio State. They can't let the fight in the Illini score now.
Good job by the number 13, Brian Brown, to knock it away from Bradford, who tried to save it on the sideline and dribbled it off the line. Turnover to Ohio State.
I think you'll see them alternating fresh legs on Bradford and not allowing that 3-ball.
Red, aggressive move to the basket.
Nice.
Michael Red pulls the Buckeyes to within 3. He has 11. Red now has scored in double figures in all but 3 of his 91 career games at Ohio State. As brilliant as a freshman. Good pass by McLean, and Cook able to tap in his own rebound.
That was very close to offensive goaltending. I don't know if that ball was outside of the rim when Cook tapped it.
8 points now for the freshman Cook. Red, he comes out firing, and the 3-pointer pulls Ohio State within 2. 14 now for Michael Red.
And Penn will give him the ball now. Once he's smoking, he keeps it going to the man that's hot. McLean wants to drive the middle. He gets his shoulder ahead of you, and that's it.
What a play. High off the glass with a kiss, and it's 34-30. First points for Sergio McLean.
McLean starts the fight in the Illini because he's tough.
10 to Red. Can't make 3 in a row, and whoa, Reese with a push on Lucas Johnson. They just overlook those in this league.
Yeah, in the Big Ten, that's just a feather touch.
Out of bounds to Ohio State. Boy, you would have loved to coach this kind of ball.
Oh, God.
Reese, oh, he muffs the pass in bounds. He was wide open, tried to shoot before he'd really caught the ball.
Yeah, Johnson got his hand in there, caused some problems down low.
34-30 Illinois.
Great ball game, even though the scoring's relatively low.
Williams, a 6'3" freshman, running the show for Illinois. Cook takes it inside and then back out to Williams for 3. Rebound, Red. Red all the way.
But you know he's getting away with it, carrying a palm. Each time he gets to the top of the key, he gives that hesitation and palms the ball. Excellent pass.
And Johnson is fouled. He was grabbed on the rebound. But Michael Red hot at the start of this second half. 7 points.
He's boiling right here. Watch. That's where he palms the ball, right there.
But they don't call that anymore, Coach.
Well,
that's part of the game today.
Yeah, I guess I'm going back to knee pads and high shoes.
And the running track around the top of the gym, right? 16 points for Red, but 7 here to start the second half. And he's got his hands in there defensively, and finally dual possession, and the arrow points to Illinois.
That's a pretty tough jump ball there. Won't be too much yelling because the arrow still goes with Illinois. That's, yeah, it's Lon, I think, is right in this situation.
34-32 Illinois. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Each team with 10 conference wins. Illini have 4 losses. Ohio State 3. Northwestern, the lone game remaining for Illinois, and McClain blocked from the backside. Look at him hustle to get it back.
Oh, is he tough? Too bad he doesn't have a perimeter shot.
Williams, oh, what a rejection by Johnson, who comes down hard. And a foul on Penn, and oh, I hope Johnson's okay. Did he land heavily on that left arm and wrist?
Yeah, left arm and wrist when he came down. He skied, he was up so high, I think he got a little nervous coming down.
His 4th block of the game.
Watch him sky, gets off his feet real quick. Got hooked below by someone, it might have been Red.
Cook, the freshman at the line. Nice soft touch for him. He's averaging just under 9 a game. That's his 9th today.
He has big-time quickness and can score from 17 feet in.
And he's shown he can score outside the line, too. 2 3-pointers in the opening half.
But I think that's more a liability than an asset.
Yeah, ultimately, the coach would just certainly not take those.
He might.
Reese looking for the open man. No one there, so he pops. George Reese, in his last home game, has 3 points.
Red and McClain are going at each other. If McClain gets the ball, he'll try to drive on Red. Watch this. Here goes. He's going to drive on Michael. Nope, he kicked it down low.
Williams to Cook. Over Johnson. And oh, that had to be a sweet touch.
That's not a freshman. Only academically.
Cook now leading Illinois with a dozen. Reese, 2 for 2. No. McClain hustles it to the other end. To Johnson. And he misses the layup. That's a good break by Illinois. They caught Ohio State, but it had no payoff. And a whistle as Ohio State takes it to the other end. A hold. And so a timeout. 4 minutes into the second half. The Illini by 4. And continues at the conclusion of today's game. We'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. Chevrolet makes a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. Yes, indeed, a tradition for over a quarter of a century. Inside to Red, battles, gets his rebound, slapped away by Williams. Williams with another steal. Bradford for 3 at the other end, off the mark. Rebound, Reese. The Illini leading by 4. 4.5 minutes gone, second half. And whistle away from the ball. Michael Red involved in an entanglement.
His first team second.
I can't understand which fouls the refs are calling it because this game is so physical. Williams just gave an elbow to Red just then.
Foul was on Williams, his first.
But he just hit him with another elbow during the interruption before the game started again.
Johnson misses everything.
Johnson didn't get his head around. That's how come that ball became an air ball.
Johnson was an art major here at Ohio State. He's quite a talented guy. Plays the piano, self-taught. Had a chance to chat with him yesterday. You were very impressed, weren't you?
Yes, solid young man. Likes his artwork.
The Illini by 4.
See how tight Brown is on Bradford?
Johnson.
Can't lay off Johnson. Johnson can bury that shot.
Penn able to come up with a rebound.
Here's a key move by Kelly.
Oh, he runs into his own man and loses the ball to Williams. That'll go as a steal for Frank Williams, who sets up his teammate Brown, and the rejection. Back at the other end, it's Reese to Johnson. And Lucas Johnson of the Illini is helter-skelter, end-to-end. Williams for 3. Johnson up high.
Big-time rebound by Johnson. Time before he should not pass to a big man in the fast break.
Brian Brown to Penn. Taken away by Reese, and Reese at 6'7" uses his strength to cut the Illini lead to 2. There's one of those offensive rebounds Coach McGuire talked about earlier. The Illini trying to make it a perfect February. They're 7-0. Ohio State on Senior Day, an emotional start to this game, and perhaps explains in part why they came out shooting cold.
Griffith down low.
Stolen by Red. Boy, he's an all-around player, Michael Red. Red. Look at Brown with a rebound and the putback, and it's tied at 38. Brian Brown with 8.
Should call a timeout right here. They need one.
And there's the timeout, and they are going crazy at the Value City Arena.
Nothing as dangerous as offensive rebounds. Give a man the inside position, and that's all she wrote.
Well, some of the young athletes are going to have a seminar just about how difficult things have become.
Ohio State in the 1-3-1 zone, trapping zone in the corners. Let's see if they stay in it on the out of bounds. I doubt it. They'll probably go man-to-man out of bounds.
Biggest lead for the Buckeyes, 7 early in the game, just before the half. Illinois by 8. It's tied again now at 38. Short is Bradford. Here comes Penn. All the way. Wow. Draws the foul, and he was not to be stopped. That was the Penn Railroad coming down the middle of the Value City Arena.
He's quite a leader. He's one of the big-time leaders, and I really believe that there's something very special about this young man. A mother's love's a blessing.
That's right. He said, you know, when I grew up, I didn't have stars. I loved athletics. I didn't put anyone's poster up there I wanted to be because I had my star. I saw her every day, my mother. And there is the mother here on Senior Day cheering on Scooty Penn, Mother Allegra. And the grandmother to the right, Mama Allegra. Scooty, he was the first child, so he was Uno, and that then became Uni, and then he liked to ride with Scooty. And Scooty developed.
This is what I said. They should do more pressure up court, Ohio State. I don't know why they didn't do it earlier. Down low to Griffin. It's going up. Don't worry about it.
Stolen by Penn.
Houdini hears that time by Penn.
Penn trying to force the pass through, and it's kicked by the Illini, and a new clock, Ohio State ball. 3 steals now for Scooty. He always wore number 11 through high school, and I think at BC wore 11, wanted it here, but that was well taken. Jerry Lucas, number 11, and he is the only retired uniform. They retired Lucas's number just within the week. A great star, led the team to the 60 championship and the final 61 and 62 where they lost to Cincinnati. Penn. Griffin, quick hands for the rebound. Williams with the Illini down by 2. He takes it in. Blocked by Johnson. Number 6. Red the other way. Rebound Griffin and a whistle. And the foul against Ohio State. Against Brian Brown of the Buckeyes, his first. 40-38 Ohio State, and you could just feel the tension of this game building. Very important in terms of the Big Ten title. Purdue with its win today against Penn State, currently in the lead. Indiana changing the texture of this conference by its overtime victory against Michigan State yesterday. The loser, especially if Illinois should lose, would drop out of contention for a share of the title.
They're giving Red a blow, Michael Red a blow right now. They got Sean Harrison in there.
Boy, the battle inside between Griffin and Johnson, and the foul goes against Griffin of Illinois.
It's just a rumble down low on both ends of the court. They're just pushing and shoving. I don't know how you can decide which one is doing the fouling.
Griffin gets his third. Johnson perhaps the better actor. Maybe that's how it goes. The Buckeyes lead by 2. To Kenberg with Al McGuire, a game that is seesawed. Illinois took the early lead, then Ohio State with an 8-0 run, 14-7 lead. Illinois caught them at 19 and built an 8-point lead at 30-22, led by 5 at the half, and then Michael Redd led an Ohio State charge to open this second half, and it's been really back and forth, 2-point lead since. Currently it's Ohio State 40, Illinois 38. Battle for a chance at the Big Ten championship. Senior day with the Buckeyes, and all the emotion that goes with that final play at home. Michael Redd back to Reese, junior to senior Reese, and Reese gives the Bucks a 4-point lead. He has 7.
Excellent drop pass that time by Michael Redd.
Inside to McLean, and the block by Johnson. That's his 6th block. The nation's best. Redd, oh my, a vicious hit, and was it a charge? Yes, it was.
That was an obvious charge that time by Redd. Should have passed the ball, son. Now here comes the block by Johnson. Watch how quick he gets off his feet. Bang!
And McLean was using his free hand to push him away. So get out of here. It didn't work. Ken Johnson, what a force defensively. 42-38, and the bomb not there for the Illini's Bradford. Here comes Penn, the tireless leader of this Buckeye team. Batted away by McLean to Ohio State. Well, you could hear all ball. There's a slapper.
Every time down, McLean hit somebody
or something.
Great, you know, it's a great ball game, but I just think the Big Ten, especially the top 5 teams in the Big Ten, is too physical. They bump every cutter. They push on every offensive rebound.
Lucas Johnson and Bradford rested briefly are back inside to Johnson, and it's Cook with a body with a foul, his 2nd. Griffin, the other center for the Illini, has 3.
That's the 5th personal foul on the Illini.
Ohio State has 4. Wide open, Johnson with a slammer. His 4th point. And it's a 6-point Buckeye lead, their biggest of the second half.
You got to give Brown a lot of credit in covering Bradford. He's taken Bradford out of the game offensively so far.
And Griffin, or it's Cook that gets knocked down, and Johnson with a foul. 3rd foul on Ken Johnson.
Breakdown defensively in the out-of-bounds play. This should never happen, not even in Sacred Heart 5th grade.
But, you know, artists like to get a close look at their work, so that that worked out okay.
Yeah, he could have been playing the piano.
He and Dudley, his replacement, and Dudley comes in, both play the piano. They're trying to work on a Rachmaninoff duet for 2.
Well, Dudley,
usually they're for 2, aren't they, those duets?
Yeah. Well, Dudley's not freelance. He took lessons.
It's another steal by Penn. Buckeyes on the run with a 6-point lead. Penn. A 2-point shot, 46-38. Penn now with 11. That's the biggest Ohio State lead of the game. The Illini desperate for a basket. Johnson hits the 3. Lucas Johnson, that was a clutch hit for Johnson It was a sophomore from Des Plaines, Illinois, north of Chicago. It's the Buckeyes by 5. The mark of this Ohio State team all season is their ability to give up early leads and then come back under the guidance of Jim O'Brien. And O'Brien, in a way, that's been the story here at Columbus, as he's brought this program back. They were miserable his first year. They won in 15 in the conference, and then they turned it around, go to the Final Four last year in his second year.
That's why he gets the job. You never get a good job. One of the great comebacks this year was at Madison Square Garden against the Red Storm St. John's. They scored the last 11 points to win the game by a point or two.
That was a character maker for the Bucks. Reese hits again. That'll be some of those peanut butter candies waiting for him. 48-41 Ohio State. And Michael Redd checking in at the scores table on the next timeout. They made this run without Redd. Williams up the alley. And he was deterred by the defense of Reese. Whoa, boy.
God, he got pushed down by Dudley, was it?
That was Will Dudley.
Holy mackerel.
Three-pointer not there, but Dudley is. And it's a 50-41 game. The Buckeyes and their fans enjoy the biggest lead of the game. Bradford not there. Out of bounds to Ohio State.
Again, give this young man Brown a lot of credit. He's been playing belly button to belly button against Bradford in the second half.
Ron Kruger encouraging this young team of his that has matured. 2 freshman starters, 2 sophomores, and a junior. Great talent, but they've had to mature on stage. Salvovich now in for Ohio State. This is Salvovich. Back to 10 with 13 on the clock.
Illinois solid man-to-man.
5 on the clock. Reese. He likes that baseline shot, followed by Michael Redd. And the Buckeyes with quite a run. Redd leading the way, the leading scorer in the game with 18. 16-3. Ohio State outscoring Illinois the last 6 minutes. Johnson losing the ball. Trying to get a shot away. No whistle. And they're going to call that out of bounds to Ohio State.
What? Offensive rebounds have been the breakdown. Now watch Redd come in here offensively and finish up again.
Columbus, Ohio with the Holiday Inn game summary. Ohio State with a 16-3 run to open up the largest lead of the game, 11 points, under 8 to go. Illinois in the first half had 6 3-pointers, only 1 here in the second half, as the Buckeyes have really tightened the defense, and Michael Redd showing All-America colors, 18 points to lead the Buckeyes. Lon Kruger's team has won 7 in a row, unbeaten in February. They've won 9 of their last 10. Said that loss at Michigan State within the 10 was really the key game for them. It's opened up the young eyes of his Illini players saying, hey, we got to get a lot better. Double team. Good save. And the foul will be on McLean as reaching in. He muscles for his second. Sends George Reese to the line. No, that's the 6th foul in Illinois.
Next one's 1-on-1. 5 personal fouls in Ohio State. Man-to-man, the out of bounds here.
Buckeyes with their 5 starters on the floor now. And Reese with a nice move inside. And he is heating up. 11 for George Reese.
Reese extends his body before he releases the ball. So he plays much taller than 6'6", 6'7".
Williams to Cook. And Cook able to put some breaks on this 18-3 run by Ohio State.
Frank Williams that time gave a nice drop pass to Cook.
Redd to the baseline. And he has 20, leading all scorers.
They got him down to 6'6". I think a 6'5" might be stretching, but he certainly can play that baseline.
Red is only a junior. He's now the number 5 scorer in Ohio State history, just past Jim Jackson with that last 2-pointer. The Buckeyes hope he'll stay around for his senior year.
You know McLean is going to drive the ball. You know he's not going to shoot from the outside because his outside shooting is very, very questionable. But once he gets his shoulders around, he goes for that basket like an 18-wheeler.
Red with a foul is 3rd. Now each team with 6 fouls. They'll be at the line from now on. 6:32 left.
Trying to set up Radford for a 3-ball. Watch him run off X amount of picks, trying to rub off Brown.
It's Cook, the big 6'10" man who hit 2 3-pointers in the first half, but not that time. Rebound, Reese. Two-time Massachusetts High School Player of the Year, Scooney Penn. He was the Big East Freshman of the Year. He was the most valuable player in the Big East as a sophomore when Jim O'Brien came here to Ohio State. He joined him, sat out a year, watched the Buckeyes 1-15. Joined him last year and took him all the way to the Final Four. Brown is fouled on the drive, and it appears to be McLean.
Illinois went to a zone being down 13 points. I don't think that's a good move with only 6 minutes left.
McLean's 3rd. Sends Brian Brown to the line. He's the unheralded Ohio State Buckeye. Brown, the sophomore from Brooklyn. He's averaging 9 a game. Terrific free throw shooter, 85%.
He's from Archbishop Malloy High School.
See, last year 4 a game, over 9 this year. 54% from the floor and 85% from the line. He is a shooter. McLean out. And the Illini bring in Cleotis Brown, number 32. 3 for 3 from the line today is Brown.
Slight pressure up court, trying to turn it.
Illinois needs some big shots here. They've fallen now down by 15. 20 points by the guards in the first half and 0 the second half. Talk about putting the clamps on.
Wow. Penn picked up his knee. I don't think they got to call that against Scooney.
And it is on Penn, his second.
Both teams are in a 1-on-1.
Greco-Roman, I think that's a couple of points for that.
Cleotis Brown at the line.
Cleotis Brown at the line.
1-and-1.
Brown, senior from Pittsview, Alabama. Southern Union Junior College, where he was a 2-time state junior college champion. They were 6th in the nation. Misses the front end, and Penn, typical. He's got about 4 rebounds and averages 4.5 a game. No, actually, he's got 6 today officially. It's remarkable for a 5'10" guard.
They'll milk the first 15, 20 seconds off the shot clock each time down.
Comfortable 15-point lead for the Buckeyes. They've held Illinois to only 13 points in the second half.
It's easy to milk the clock when you're playing against the zone.
Out of bounds to Illinois is the call. The CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Backcourt scoring. Ohio State 37, Illinois 20, and all 20 coming in the first half for the Illini. For complete game stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Not a lot of movement by the Illini.
Individual movement they went to rather than team movement.
Finally, Bradford fires. Rebound Johnson. 4:45 left. It would appear the Buckeyes about to go 20-5 and probably will pass Michigan State. Spartans were number 5 in the nation. Ohio State number 6 this week.
They should exchange positions. You know, watching Scooty Penn out there, he's going to lead Ohio State to his 4th straight NCAA appearance. 2 of them at Boston College and 2 here at Ohio State. That is quite an accomplishment.
And the love between he and his coach is very apparent yesterday as we talked to both. You know, it's a cliche to have a coach on the floor, and Jim O'Brien said he's so much more than that, this young man. Said, you think what he gave up? He was a star at Boston College. He came to a team that was 1-15, left Boston to come to Columbus, Ohio, left all of his friends to join me, and has just turned the program around.
You know, in the year that he had to sit out because of transferring, he used to take on 4 walk-ons. They take on the varsity and beat the varsity.
True. Brown stolen by Williams. The best in the Big Ten, Williams, and he is fouled in the backcourt. Williams with 61 steals coming into this game.
Frank Williams
and has 4 today.
Shooting 1 and 1.
What you got here now, Williams has to make both these shots. Then the fight in the line, I got to put pressure up court to turn over the second made foul shot.
The old coach at Marquette used to call that free throw a crier. Yep. It goes. Academic All-Stars recognize one player on each team for academic excellence. We'll give you the All-Stars in today's game in a moment as Frank Williams hits the deuce.
There's the pressure up court. Trying to create a turnover, keep the ball in Penn's hand.
Bradford got away with a slap. Johnson trying to get it to Bradford. Knocked away from him. Boy, what a pinball game.
They'll take it. The clock is the opponent, not the team. So Ohio State will work the clock down 25 seconds.
Under 4 to go. And the foul. Now we have a chance to talk about the All-Stars. No, I guess we're not. We're going to go to commercial here if there is a timeout. Jim O'Brien comes out to argue.
Timeout, Ohio State.
And the Buckeyes have indeed called a timeout. And with it, the red-faced O'Brien trying to assimilate a call he did not appreciate. We'll be right back to Columbus, Ohio. Level, Sean Harrington of Illinois has got a 3.4 average in business, 3.48. And Guacho Steele of Ohio State, a walk-on who's earned a letter, is majoring in business. Also zoology for Steele, and an honor student. He's involved with the majority of one. He's the president here at Ohio State, minority student athletes, and quite a young man. Sweeney Penn slipping inside with a left hand.
You let Sweeney get into the paint, and you're in trouble.
Penn with 13. Time running out on the Illini. Yeah, they really.
You gotta call a foul here. You can't let this thing go on like wrestling.
And they're going to call it on Lucas Johnson of Illinois. Another takedown. 4th on him.
It looks like sumo wrestling with thin guys. Watch the takedown here. 1,001 to
Well, actually, Scooty Penn was involved. Maybe each man should get a point on that one. Penn kind of reaching back around the arms or the legs of Johnson, who has his 4th, and Penn goes to the line for Ohio State.
We had a very tight ball game up to about the 6-minute mark, and then Ohio State blew it out.
Playing with a rebound for the Illini. Corey Bradford, the chief threat from outside. He's down low, but Brian Brown has done a whale of a job. Brown on him now. Gets a pick from Johnson, and Bradford hits the 3. 60-48, Ohio State. 14 for Bradford to lead his team. Red leads all scorers with 20 points.
Brown will get the ball to Penn. There you are. Automatic. Penn runs the show.
Bradford has his first foul. And Penn will be back at the line.
We're in now the super bonus, so you automatically get 2 shots. Super bonus comes too soon. Super bonus will be about 12 fouls, not 10.
Or get 10 anytime you're over 10 in the last 3 minutes.
Something
put
like
a time
that, but
limit.
it comes too soon. It makes that first shot so easy.
Mom has watched her son play every minute of this his last game at home. Sweeney Penn. See if she calls this one.
Come on, take a deep breath and relax.
Good coach. Coach, take a deep breath and relax. Keep your elbow in and follow through.
You would have liked her. You coached the mothers. That's how you got him to Marquette.
She could be an assistant with me.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by Daytech Online. The rules of online trading are changing. Nike. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Well, tonight, it's the show that's been #1 for a couple of decades, 60 Minutes, and you could be among the people the world's biggest spy station listens in on. If you don't believe it, watch 60 Minutes tonight, followed by a powerful all-new Touched by an Angel, and then a world premiere miniseries event, Perfect Murder, Perfect Town. Don't miss it tonight. Big lineup, CBS. 2:39 to go. Scooney Penn and the Ohio State Buckeyes on senior day here at Columbus, leading 61-48. They really shut down the Illini offense in the second half.
Especially Bradford.
Williams brings it in. Penn hawking him. Williams for three. Right into the arms of Brian Brown. Illini now in the position they have to foul, and McLean with a reach in. Stops the clock and sends the action to the other end with 2:20 to go. Lon Kruger, just like O'Brien, everywhere he's gone, he's brought excellence to the basketball program. He played at Kansas State, where he's twice the most valuable player in the Big 8. 4 years at Pan America, 4 years at K-State, 6 years at Florida. Really got that program heated up. Now in his 4th season at Illinois.
When you hear Pan American, the first thing I think of is Abe Lemons.
Abe Lemons.
The Will Rogers of college coaches.
He could have made a living as a stand-up comedian. Kruger would never pretend to be funny. What an athlete he was in high school. He was a football quarterback, 2,000 yards. He was a baseball pitcher at Kansas State. Played a year minor league. Brian hits them both, as is his one, and he is now 6 for 6 from the line. Close to 90% now for the season. Unrelenting defense. Bradford has to force the three. Cook with the rebound. He fires the three. And a push underneath, and down goes McLean. And it will be on Ohio State.
Ohio State foul on number 40. George Reeks, his 3rd, team 9th.
Roman Reese with a foul.
Sergio McLean at the line for Illinois, shooting 1-1.
They almost had a perfect February.
I would think that with their big win at Indiana and their 7-0 February coming in here, that it would appear they'd have earned a trip.
I think
the Big Dance.
I think the Big Ten will get 5 and possibly 6 teams. The only other conferences that opportunity might be the Southeastern Conference.
Johnson knocks it out of bounds. Scooney Penn at the other end with his 7th rebound.
Well, I got a moment here. My #1 seeds as of today would be Cincinnati, Duke, Stanford, and Temple. Arizona, an outside shot.
Your long shot there is Temple, huh?
Temple's good. Temple's excellent.
Oh, and I know where your heart's with John Chaney. I know how much you admire his work. Penn inside to Johnson, loses it, and out of bounds off Illinois is Bradford.
John Chaney is a man's man. He doesn't like me to say it, and I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. In his home, I'm going to say it. In his home, they only got 1 washroom. Now, what do you think of that? He's never left the neighborhood. Most of these guys leave the neighborhoods.
The curve, those top 5 teams, those numbers look good enough to make it into the NCAA tournament to me.
When I'm telling you, Dick, next week it's up at Madison that we're going to cover the game. But playing in Madison with Dick Bennett is like a call from the Internal Revenue.
It's really tough. Huh?
Oh, boy. It's worse than root canal.
Bradford, the suburbs for that three-pointer. And Red with a rebound. Time running out. Ohio State will celebrate a very successful senior day. After trailing by 8 points late in the first half, they were down by 5 at the halftime and have just Their performance holding Illinois to 18 points here in the second half has been remarkable. Chevrolet, most valuable players of the game, and here they are. From Illinois, Corey Bradford held to 14, well under his average, and the leading scorer on the season for Ohio State, Michael Redd. Chevrolet makes a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund, rewarding outstanding students for their academic achievements and assisting those in financial need.
Dick, how did we do with my statement that if Johnson played 30 minutes, they got to win? Ken Johnson.
Johnson seemed to get his 30 in, and while he didn't score a lot of points, he had how many blocks from Johnson today? He finishes with 6, just over his average, and he's about to become the all-time single-season shot blocker in Big Ten history. With 6 today, he needs only 3 to pass Penn State's Calvin Booth.
His main problem is foul prone, so if he can get 30 minutes in any game, Ohio State has an outside chance of going back to the Final Four at Nap City.
Final minute of the game, and the defense is not any softer. Bradford going inside, can't hit, and Cook with a follow. Well, Brian Cook with a solid game. The freshman was 16, leading the Illini.
I thought they'd take Penn out to get a hand, seeing it's senior night.
Final seconds tick away.
There he is. Yeah, I wonder why he's waiting so long. He probably forgot.
Apparently he isn't going to call a timeout. He's waiting for a foul. Brown. Rebound Cook with 15 seconds to go. The Buckeyes still hustling. And a foul by Reese.
Ohio State, Reese calls because he's going to get the hand too. He's one of the seniors. He wants to get out of there with Penn.
Great moment. The fans here, 19,500 at the Value City Arena. And they're going to get a chance to salute in his last home game, Scooney Penn. I would guess Johnson and Reese, the other 2 seniors, also. With a final roar of approval from their adoring fans.
And there's something, they're still hesitating. There's only 9.6 seconds left in the game.
Cook misses the front end, and now
here they come.
The moment. First out is Reese, then Johnson, and they're saving Darby on the sidelines. He'll replace Penn. They want these 2 to get their hand. Well deserved. They had a solid game, and here goes Scooney Penn. You know, coaches were second fathers for a lot of us, and good coaches are just that, and that's a love relationship. Jim O'Brien, Scooney Penn. Well off the mark. Darby sets it back up, and and that's how it is. Devon Smith, 24, who didn't score all year long, came that close. A wedge shot. The final score, Ohio State, number 6 in the nation, impressively 64-51 to beat the University of Illinois here in Columbus, Ohio. Great to be with you with Al McGuire. This is Dick Enberg, and this has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA Basketball Championship.
When the moment arrives, where will you be? Paris.
Penelope, you are
Call now for free activation.
You want to go to the dentist. You'd go tomorrow. But to which one? Not to some name your friend jots down on a napkin. And definitely not to some dentist you'd select randomly through the phone book. You want research, information, a chance to ask questions. Excuse me. Have I been wasting my breath? Maybe you haven't seen these commercials before, but that's what we do at 1-800-DENTIST. One phone call, everything you need to find a great dentist. Call us today.
I'm not going to become one of those old men who sit in lawn chairs on driveways and regret adventures I never took.
Coming up next, filmmaker Martin Scorsese joins me to pick the best films of the 1990s.
I guess that was your accomplice and the wood chipper.
Fargo.
There's a bunker up there. We can't see it, and it's chewing my men to pieces, sir.
The Thin Red Line.
And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell.
Pulp Fiction. At the end of the first century of film, one of America's greatest filmmakers joins me to select the top 10 films of the 1990s. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times, and on this special edition, I'll be joined by the director whose films Taxi Driver and Raging Bull were voted by many groups as the best films of the 1970s and the 1980s.
I'm Martin Scorsese. Hello. And thank you, Roger, for bringing me back to Chicago in the snow.
You know, in the film business, we kind of came in together because at my first Chicago Film Festival in 1967, I reviewed your first film, and I predicted in that article that you would be a great director, and boy, was I right. And on today's show, we're going to review the top 4 films on our separate lists and then list our top 10 films of the decade. So let's start with my number 4 film, which is Fargo from 1996 by Joel and Ethan Coen. And here are 2 of everyone's favorite performances from the decade. Frances McDormand as a very pregnant police chief, questioning William H. Macy as a very nervous car salesman who is up to his neck in a false kidnapping.
Like I told you, we haven't had any vehicles go missing.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, how do you know? Because, see, the crime I'm investigating, the perpetrators were driving a car with dealer plates, and they called someone who works here, so it'd be quite a coincidence if they weren't, you know, connected.
The most remarkable thing about Fargo is the way it combines a genuinely exciting and ingenious crime plot with such a good-hearted portrait of a plucky policewoman, and the photography makes the weather into a character, too, that cold, white, snowy wasteland where cars won't start and even the cops wear Elmer Fudd hats. Fargo, one of the best films of the decade.
No, I love the picture. Especially the scene you just showed, the wonderful interrogation scene and this wonderful performances by everybody in the picture, Macy and McDormand, and particularly Macy's a kind of passive-aggressive character. I like the whole picture because it's sort of it's a comedy of manners. It's a movie that once it's on, if it's on television, I'll keep watching the whole thing if I get caught up in it. And there's also that wonderful scene with this Asian-American guy. Everyone else seems to be holding back their emotions, and this guy completely disintegrates.
He says, I'll sit over here with you, and she says, no, I think you better sit back over there. But then, the next morning, she calls her friend, and she finds out everything that guy told her was a lie. Yeah. And that's when she decides to go back and talk to Macy again in the scene we just saw, because she realizes maybe this guy was lying too, and that's her entry into the whole case.
Yeah, and the photography is wonderful. Roger Deakins is beautiful stuff.
Yes, it is.
My number 4 film is Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick's last, which was released in July of 1999. And it stars Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as a happily married couple who realize, thanks to a conversation that begins very casually, just how fragile the bond between them actually is. This sets Cruise's character off on a real odyssey. The key stop in his journey is a Long Island mansion where a bizarre secret ceremony is underway.
Remove your clothes.
Please.
to do it for you.
I think a lot of people were looking at Eyes Wide Shut from the wrong angle. It's not to be taken literally. It's Manhattan as you'd experience it in a dream, where everything feels familiar, but very strange. And I think Eyes Wide Shut is a profound film about love, sex, and trust in a marriage, about learning to take things day by day and either accepting or ignoring whatever unpleasant truths come along. It's also a film I cherish because it puts you in the authoritative hands of an old master with a style that flies in the face of every modern convention.
It does. And you know, people put it up to this test of reality as if that means anything.
I know.
I got email from people saying, well, you could see that there was an English sign in the window of one of the stores, or it wasn't really shot in, there's no street in Manhattan that's that narrow, or it doesn't have any traffic. Of course there isn't. You know, I've got news for them. Rear Window wasn't shot in a real city either. I mean, the whole point is that you elevate the material with your style into something special. Otherwise, just go out and visit New York if that's what you want to see.
Exactly. And there are all kinds of clues in the film as to that, in a way, because you really take a journey inside Tom Cruise's mind, in a way, in this wonderful sense of sexuality and guilt and unpleasant discoveries and the journey the marriage has to take, all building up to the last line, which is a beauty.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a great film. When we come back, we each choose our number 3 films of the decade.
This special edition of Roger Ebert in the Movies is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
The Biore self-heating mask deep cleans your face with a gentle heat. Only Biore heats up instantly to liquefy oily residue and rinse it away clean in just 60 seconds. Amazing what a little heat can do. Biore. Clean, honest.
The exciting thing about this ride isn't the 90-foot drop. It's the woman in the front seat. She's got asthma, but she's got help. Help control your asthma with Singulair. It's a single tablet daily that's not a steroid. It's also available for children 6 and older. Ask your doctor about adding once-a-day Singulair and help control your asthma. Singulair should not be used to treat acute asthma attacks. Continue taking your other asthma medicines unless your doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If symptoms get worse, contact your doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, flu, and stomach pain. Read the consumer information your doctor or pharmacist can provide. Help control your asthma with Singulair.
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
And they fix this kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
They're open?
Yeah.
Did you look it up?
Yes.
In the Yellow Pages?
Yes.
Ameritech Yellow Pages? And
no phone book gives you more information than Ameritech Yellow Pages. A few minutes in here can save you hours out there.
dining room furniture only, closed Sundays.
Hey, Bart, how about a little help here?
Hello, I'm Bill McSkimming. Springtime means a variety of driving conditions. Is your car prepared? Stop by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer for a safety inspection. We'll check your belts, hoses, wipers, and all fluids, making sure everything looks great. And speaking of great looks, check out the new Chrysler Concorde LXI for 2000 at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. It's a shining example of Chrysler's engineering heritage. Survive the drive. Drive safely and in style with the stars of Chicagoland.
Continuing our special show on the best movies of the 90s, my choice for number 3 is a 1994 Taiwanese film called A Borrowed Life, directed by Wu Nanjian. The Chinese title is Do Sang, which means father. It's an autobiographical story about a poor family in the Taiwanese countryside during the 1950s, right after the end of the Japanese rule and the nationalist secession from the mainland.
那个店门口有块布，上面写着一个很大的字“当”，可那时候常常把它看成是富，以为是富翁住的地方。
The camera remains still. It lives with the characters, and it observes their most difficult emotional interactions with a restraint that often becomes painful. This is a movie that forces you to rethink how you view movies. If you go with it, if it clicks for you, the results are very rewarding.
The camera holds back. It doesn't become a protagonist along with the characters, and here's the mother, and here's the father, and here's the kid. It says here they all are, and here is this period of time they're living through, and you begin to realize that you're like another observer. They're in their house.
Exactly. You become part of the family.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, because the picture has a lot of domestic violence in it. In fact, in one scene, the camera's inside in the house, and husband and wife go outdoors, and you hear them fighting outside. The camera stays inside, and in a way you don't want to go out there, but you're part of the family.
Like the narrator, who was the little boy. He probably stayed inside, and he heard his parents fighting, and this has made an impression on him.
And it's a true story. I mean, this writer-director is the writer for Hao Shen's films, Dust in the Wind and The Puppet Master. And I think Dust in the Wind is the same story from the other point of view.
Okay. Now for my number 3 film, which is named Goodfellas, from 1990 by Martin Scorsese. It's based on the life of Henry Hill, a mid-level professional criminal who told his story from the safety of the Witness Protection Program. And Henry Hill knows the mob from the inside out, but so I think, in a way, do you, Marty. I think this scene that we're looking at now may be based as much on your childhood as on Henry Hill's, since you grew up in New York's Little Italy and observed the local characters at first hand. Goodfellas stars Ray Liotta as Hill and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci as 2 of Henry Hill's associates in crime in a world where good-natured kidding can turn in the flash of a moment to sudden violence.
What do you mean I'm funny? It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What?
It's just, you know, you're just funny. It's funny, you know, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
The visual style of Goodfellas subtly keys off the movie styles of the decades it considers, and the rhythm relentlessly builds until at the end, as Henry Hill senses capture growing closer, we realize we're breathlessly running right along with him. Goodfellas combines wisdom about human nature with a spellbinding story, and it's one of the best films of the 90s.
Thank you. I don't have much crosstalk on this one, so...
Is it true that you tried to reflect in the various decades of the film the way that the movies from those decades more or less looked?
In a way, yeah, particularly. But I really try to take care of that in the costuming and the set decoration, really. That's the main thing. And music, of course.
To me, the most remarkable thing about the film is the way that, without really calling our attention to it, get us all wound up with tension at the end when he realizes that the net is drawing closer. And he's trying to just go through the daily tasks of an ordinary day.
Yes.
And it's not.
Well, the whole lifestyle has destroyed him, especially the drug taking. He believes helicopters are chasing him. Well, they become just as important as the tomato sauce. Now, something's wrong. All the priorities are upside down, and that's... I wanted to give the audience, people in the audience who never had a feeling of paranoia like that, or a feeling of paranoia whether it's induced by reality or by drugs, I wanted to give them that impression of what it feels like.
It's remarkable that anything could be more important than the tomato sauce.
Oh, I would go for the sauce, of course, naturally. It's
When we come back, Marty and I both choose our number 2 films of the decade.
I have been on every diet imaginable, and the Jenny Craig program has changed me. It's given me a sense of empowerment and self-confidence. I feel like I can conquer the world. I've been struggling with my weight since college. What Jenny Craig has really done is change my whole outlook on life, and I feel so good.
Today's Jenny Craig gives you more weight loss choices, like the new low-carb option. Join now and get 6 weeks for $36 plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY-2000.
What does a website have to do with your daily health routine? Everything. CBS Health Watch by Netscape. We're the online authority to help you manage your health. Visit cbs.healthwatch.com every day for your health.
When it comes to keeping up with fashion, it's easy to be let down. Good thing there's Chevy Cavalier. It's stylish, easy-fitting, plus Cavalier's the lowest-priced car with an anti-lock brakes standard. So you can look good without costing you an arm or a pant leg. Chevy Cavalier, depend on it.
Current GM owners and lessees, apply your loyalty-driven offer and get this great lease. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details.
Continuing this special show, Martin Scorsese and I make our personal selections of the best films of the 1990s. And the number 2 film on my list is possibly the most influential film of the decade.